the Jets, vintage Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, everybody has been waiting for. Why did it take so long? Connor, I'll let you go.
Well, I think the biggest thing, well, he's healthy. I think that's the most significant thing. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I was told yesterday, actually by a source within the Jets building, that he was playing earlier this season with a hamstring that was the most significant injury that a hamstring can be sustained or endure that still involves the hamstring being attached to the body. So that's how bad this hamstring was for Aaron Rodgers. And I actually said to the source, I was like, why didn't you guys come out and say this? You knew it. He was just on the injury report with a hamstring. He's going to play limited in practice. But if he was dealing with this, you guys should have come out and told people and let people know what he was enduring. I know injuries aren't an excuse, yada, 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 but it would have explained some of Aaron Rodgers' struggles earlier this season, because over these last 3-4 weeks, what you've seen is a guy that can move around within the pocket. You've seen a guy that can extend plays. You've seen a guy that can get out a little bit and move and run. And also those deep passes that have now come back and been reintroduced to the Jets offense. I think a large part of it is that Aaron Rodgers is trusting himself from the waist down and that he can plant and drive when he wasn't necessarily able to do that earlier in the year.
And JJ, he led the team in rushing yesterday.
Yeah, he moved around really well, and I had an opportunity to see him in South Florida last week take on the Dolphins. That was the best I've seen Aaron Rodgers, I feel, move around all year. He was able to buy time. Obviously, the receivers have come to life the last 2 weeks, and, Jeane, in many ways, it's the classic too little, too late for a team that had major aspirations. They doubled down on those aspirations when they made the Davante Adams trade, and let's be real, when they made the Davante Adams trade, they thought they were going to have a lot more days like the ones we saw each of the last 2 weeks, where that chemistry is on full display, where you see Rodgers and Adams knowing exactly what each other wants to do, and the Jet offense is able to thrive because of it. And I think the interesting wrinkle and dynamic for me now is, okay, Davante Adams has a huge cap hit for next season. We all know Aaron Rodgers' future has been dissected every which way imaginable. Connor, you probably can speak to this better than I can, but the way I kind of look at the Rodgers-Adams partnership with the Jets, I feel like either both of these guys find their way back. I can't live in a world where either Aaron Rodgers is gone and Davante Adams is back, or Aaron Rodgers is back and Davante Adams is gone. Is it basically a package deal with these two guys for the Jets in 2025? That's kind of the way I'm reading it with their relationship. I know money obviously talks. Is it both or none for 2025? That's my question.
Yeah, and I'm going to add another question with that, Connor. Should they run it back with them?
Well, that's tough to say. I mean, well, first of all, it's pretty much a package deal. I mean, the whole reason why Davante Adams is here with the Jets is because he wanted to play with the whole reason Davante Adams is here with the Jets is because he wanted to play with Aaron Rodgers. That's why he's back here. That's why he came to New York. He didn't want to play with Tyrod Taylor. He didn't want to play with a rookie quarterback. He wanted to play with Rodgers. And if you look at the last places that Davante Adams has gone, when he went to the Raiders for the first time, and then this most recent time when he was looking for a new team again, the other team that was involved in the Davante Adams sweepstakes, it wasn't the Buffalo Bills, despite the fact they needed a receiver. It was the New Orleans Saints, because why? Davante Adams wanted to go to a quarterback that he knew, and that quarterback was Derek Carr. That's why he went to the Raiders in the first place as well. So if Rodgers ends up leaving by either the Jets letting him go and he goes plays elsewhere, I just can't see Davante Adams at this stage in his career, having never won a championship before, just spinning his tires for a team that very clearly will not have playoff or Super Bowl aspirations next year if they're starting Tyrod Taylor as a bridge to a rookie quarterback. Should they come back, Jeane? I'll be honest with you. I know that I was watching this game, and I got a chance to watch it again this morning because I covered the Giants yesterday. But I do think that it is very important to say that as good as Aaron Rodgers looked against the Jacksonville Jaguars, as good as Davante Adams looked against the Jacksonville Jaguars, as nice as it was to see this offense finally resemble the one that we saw at different points in training camp that we thought we were going to be seeing every single week, every single Sunday against the best teams in the league that was going to lead the Jets into the playoffs and make an eventual run, they did do it against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that was 3-10, a team that possesses the worst pass defense in the entire NFL. So context here is needed. And Aaron Rodgers a couple weeks ago, when Andy Vasquez asked him if he believes these final few weeks he can go out there and prove to the Jets that he deserves to come back, Rodgers was insulted by that question, not at Andy for asking it, but just the fact that that's something that's going to be out there. 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champion. He doesn't need to show anything else. I think the book's already written on Rodgers and what the Jets want to do. The people that he needs to convince are ownership, and if ownership wants to bring him back, or ultimately the next GM and head coach.